today from my book, Tell Me a Story, is called The New Student Desk. This is the painting I did for that story, and it's the 29th story in the book. 28th maybe, I have to count again, make sure. And it's on page 65, and this is the story, The New Student Desk. New Student Desk. I was in the 5th grade when we moved to Brighton Beach. My first year there was at PS 100, a very old school. The school had a musty smell, and when it rained, we didn't go out to play but stayed in the basement. The basement had an even stronger smell of mold, especially on rainy days. The basement was very large. We would have recess there, playing games on the concrete floor. The school cafeteria was there, also in the basement, and sometimes on rainy days, my mother let me choose to eat there. That was a real treat for me. The food was hot and steamy and not at all like my mother's. They had strange cream sauces on things and vegetables that came out of cans. I loved it. Everyone's clothes were wet too, and that added to the nasty smell. When I went back to school after our first summer in Brighton Beach, I was transferred to PS 163. This school was brand new, and there were a lot of children in my class that I didn't know. PS 163 only went to the 6th grade. So I knew that in 1 year's time I would go back to a different school. Everything in this new school was shiny and bright. The student desks were clean and had new inkwells in the corner. It all smelled new, even the desk I sat at. The seat was slippery because it was so smooth and shiny, and it snapped up when I stood up on my feet. The desk had a small shelf under the top to store pencils and papers. And the top of the desk, there was a notch for my pen so it wouldn't roll off the desk when I was using it. The desktop lifted up and had a space to hold books and papers. I loved the pens the teacher gave us. They were made of wood, and our fingers fit just right where we held them to write. The pen holder had a little half circle cut on it and the bottom and to push the metal pen point into. I could dip my pen into blue ink in the inkwell, draw pictures, and then change the way the lines looked. I could press hard and make the lines darker and wider, or press gently and make the lines lighter and narrower. Our teacher, Mrs. Harris, got us each a small square of chamois that we used to clean the points of the pen. The lovely yellow and orange, soft and smooth little squares smelled like rich leather and made the pens bright when they were rubbed. I hated getting ink on the chamois because it made blue smudges and spoiled the material. We all felt very special when we used those wonderful new desk pens and books. One day, when we came back to school after a holiday, we found each child had to double up in his or her desk. We were told that another public school had to close, and the children were sent to different schools. Many had to transfer to PS 163. The school was crowded now, and each class had many more students. Mrs. Harris, our teacher, became much stricter. We had to sit up straight and be quiet. We had to sit with another person. Everything about our wonderful new desk had to be shared. The place for our books, the place for our pens and pencils, and the place for our papers. No one was happy.